So you like obviously mentioned getting an apartment and stuff was difficult then because it's kind of almost like this is like a weird thing to draw a comparison to, but I've always heard of people who are content creators have an issue getting apartments and stuff because the people almost don't believe that this is real. Like they almost think they are hiding something. So would you say
Yeah.
that even though your business was legal and what the product you're selling was legal, it was almost still seen as dirty money?
Yeah, because you gotta understand that, like, in the US, we have federal and then state, right? And the 10th Amendment in our federal constitution says if what a state wants to do isn't laid out in this constitution, the state can do it over here. That's what the 10th Amendment says. So each state in the US can be its own petri dish. So Colorado put it into their constitution. So the money was legal in the state, but not federally. So, if an apartment if you go to buy an apartment and you don't pay cash for it and it's like an investment, you're taking a federal loan from Fannie and Freddie to mortgage your apartment that you're renting out at a profit. Well, if my dirty money from a federal sense gets flagged in their bank account going up to pay that mortgage, they lose their federal funding. So even like a bank, if it's not a local credit union or a local bank, but even they have ties into the Fed. So everyone's tied into the Fed over here, which is not how our country was supposed to run. So no one wanted to touch that money. And to be honest, I mean, we were taking money in that just stunk like weed anyway. So you'd walk in and people would be like, "What do you do for a living?" You'd be like, "Nothing, nothing." I bought my home that my wife and I have when I was still in the industry, and we're at closing, signing all the final paperwork, and the gal was super nice at title, and she was trying to be polite, make conversation. She said, "Oh, it's a beautiful home. Like, you must make good money. What do you do?" And I was like, "I'm not here to talk about work. Keep your mouth shut." And I was so rude to her because I was like, I just didn't want the deal to fall apart at that point where I'm like, I'm paying for this home with weed money, like that wouldn't work.